Shalom Uvracha. There are three Mo'adim D'Rabbanan that Chazal enacted for us. One of them is a day of mourning, a day of sadness. Tisha B'Av, we'll leave that one out. But there are another two that are festivals, days of joy. One is Purim, one is Chanukah. But there's a gulf, a chasm that separates between them. Purim is one day alone, just one day. No Hallel. Chanukah, 8 days. In Sefer Maccabim we learn 8 days correspond to a full festival, to the 8 days of Sukkot. Sukkot, an 8-day festival, and Chanukah, a full 8-day rabbinic festival. The Gemara in Avodah Zarah teaches us that this corresponds to, the Gemara doesn't make the full correspondence, but the Gemara mentions an ancient, pagan, 8-day winter holiday, calendaria it was called, 8 days long. That's a full festival. And also Chanukah is a full 8-day festival. Why this huge discrepancy, this huge difference between Chanukah, 8 full days, and Purim, just one? Couldn't we give Purim a bit more too? Why this big difference? But I think the answer is that each one marks an entirely different type of salvation, of redemption. The salvation of Purim is a salvation of survival. Our very existence was threatened in the exile of Paras Umadai, of Persia. Haman, the evil Haman, stood up to destroy, to eradicate the Jewish people. And in the end, we survived. We survived because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem takes care of us, and we survived because of the initiative, of the actions of Mordechai and Esther that were given divine assistance. But what do we celebrate? We celebrate our survival. Not so in the case of Chanukah. In Chanukah, it's not about our survival. It's about our national essence. Our essence was threatened in Chanukah by the defilement of Yavan, of the Syrian Greeks, who wished on the one hand to Hellenize us. There was a threat internally of the Jewish Hellenizers, the Mityavnim, who wished to introduce foreign elements into what it means to be Jewish. And of course, over time, that became a war, a true religious war against Shabbos, against Milah, against Chodesh, against everything that's central and dear to what it means to be Jewish. And that's what the war was fought over. That's what the Bnei Hashmonai, the Hasmoneans, the Maccabees, that's what they revolted again. That's what they went to war over. They fought over our national essence. They didn't fight about our physical survival. They fought about what we survive for. We survive in order to be able to realize, to manifest who we are in the fullest extent, on the highest possible level of Jewish autonomy that returned to us, notwithstanding the depth of the exile. And on that the Rambam says, Chazar Malchus L'Yisrael, that the kingdom returned to the Jewish people for more than 200 years. And that is an event. That is a celebration that warrants full 8 days of celebrating. We say Hallel, like the Gemara tells us. In Purim, we're still slaves of Achashverosh. On Chanukah, we're independent. We have our full ability to manifest, to realize what it means to be Jewish. That's the celebration of Chanukah, a full celebration of who we are. And in recent years, we've had two colossal events that the Jewish people underwent. One of them is Purim Dik, recalls the celebration of Purim, and one of them, Chanukah. The first event was the event of the Holocaust, the terrible and unforgettable Shoah, where we experienced unfathomable pain, undescribable losses, and yet we survived. Like Purim, where we mark the survival of the Jewish people after the decree of eradication on the part of Haman and Persia, So at the end of the Holocaust, we came out, albeit wounded, injured, echad me'ir shnai me'mishpacha, depleted, but we survived. That's one thing. That's our modern day Purim. But we also have a modern day Chanukah. And the modern day Chanukah is the state of Israel. The state of Israel that allows us to have our national independence, allows us an opportunity to bring to bear, to bring to light, to manifest all it means to be Jewish in the fullest sense of the word, not just as a small and minority community in the depth of Galus, like in the Purim story, but rather as an independent nation ready to realize its full essence. And we're not there yet. We have, Baruch Hashem, an independent state. We have, Baruch Hashem, the ability to physically fight off those who try to defeat us, those who try to annihilate us, as we've learned over the past years. But the full extent of manifestation of what it means to be Jewish, the full elevation of the Jewish people that needs to be brought to light, the light of Chanukah, here in the state of Israel, is up to us. Is up to us to continue to invest the fullness of our energies, the fullness of our investment in ensuring that the state of Israel and that the Jewish life within it should be a full manifestation of what it means to be Jewish. This is living the Chanukah ideal, living what the Chanukah wars of the Hasmoneans, the Maccabees, were fought over. And halavai that we should reach that. We should see the Besuris Tovas that we await, the return of the captives, the full victory over our enemies, but also the full realization of Jewish light, which is what Chanukah is all about. Happy Chanukah to all of us, and we should have a wonderful Shabbos.